That is 749. So even if I max out every single one of my bonus points, I still have a higher CPO than if I have to drop down to the next set. Do you understand? It's set up like that so that you can use the free stuff to sell the biggest items possible. It's a great thing giving away free stuff, okay? Don't go overboard. Don't go past the limits. Stay within the ranges, okay? But the more incentive you give the customer, the more what they're going to feel. Because now that lady who goes, you know what, I got to talk to my husband about it, now feels comfortable telling her husband, hey, you know what, I spent $1,000 on a set of knives, but I also got an ice cream scoop, vegetable peeler, I got a honey knife, a military grade honey knife for you, I got a pocket knife for our son, I got a fisherman's solution for our brother, all for free. I got like $500 worth of stuff for free, and it was $1,000 less than what we would have bought in the store. And now the husband's like, oh, what a great deal. Does that make sense? So boom, we just eliminated the husband objection, and we just eliminated the matter of time. How do we eliminate the objection of time? Well, it says, and I'll just read this to you right here, so you don't have to open it up. This is already in your price book, by the way, everything I'm covering. It's under the first call, right where you find the shipping. It says first call point system. Let me read this to you. How do we eliminate the objection of time? Call me back in a week, right? Or, you know, call me back in a month. The Federal Trade Commission states that giving the first call bonus on a second call is an illegal practice. So it is a federal regulation. We can only offer all the free stuff on the first call special the first time we see them. Does that make sense? So that gives them an incentive to purchase today so that they can take advantage of all the free stuff. If we have to call them back in a month and go see them then, they don't get the free stuff. Now, personally, I'm okay selling less today, okay, if I can get an order today rather than a big order tomorrow. You guys follow with me? You get that? Okay. So, everybody understand the points. Do you feel like this will help you sell more? Yes or no?
Yes.
If you'd have had this your first weekend, would you have sold more homemakers? Absolutely. All right, let me tell you the second thing. I'm going to drop down for you here, okay? And Gerald, if you'll speak really loudly, you're going to be my customer on this, okay? So here's my drop-down page. Here's my scratch paper, right? So I go, okay, Gerald, you're the top person in our training class. You've sold the most. I would like for you to give me the objections that your customers gave you the most of, okay? So I go, all right, we got the Homemaker plus 8. It's $9.45. If you get that, I can give you the Super Shears for free. Do you want to go ahead and do that?
No, it's just a little bit out of nowhere.
Okay? What's the first thing I'm going to say from the objection cycle?
No problem.
Hey, no problem. I completely understand. It's a little out of your range. I hope I didn't give you the impression that you had to pay for it all at once. One of the things that's a lot easier for our customers to do is our no-interest investments. And that would only be $2.14 today, rather than $9.45. So, does that work a little better for your budget today?
It does, but now that I look at it, it's a little bit too much, too many times.
Okay, no problem. Notice how he changed his objection, right? Now, here's what's really key. Every time I show an option, I'm going to ask a yes question. Does that make sense? So that I can get a yes out of the customer. So did you notice when I asked him, I go, does that work a little better for your budget? Well, of course it does. It's $700 less. Who's going to say no to that? It is a yes question. Does that make sense? So I'm getting yeses from my customers. So I go, hey, would that work a little better for your budget? And you said, okay, no problem. So what's the next thing I'm going to ask? Basically, I've offered them a solution. Does that make sense? So think about it. We said no problem. We offered them a better price. What's the next thing in the step? Ask for the order. So I go, hey, do you want to get that then?
Well, it's just a 2 minute line for me.
Okay, no problem. I completely understand. Before I move on though, let me just share this with you. I know I offered you the super shears for free. I'd be more than willing to throw in the kitchen tool set as well. You'd get over $250 worth of stuff for free with your order, and it'd only be one extra trip to the grocery store today. Does that seem like a better deal?
Yes, that does sound like a better deal.
Perfect. So do you want to go ahead and get that?
I don't think so. Will you just sell knives like 1 or 2?
We definitely do. I'll tell you, because I'm new, I want to go through all the motions with you so I get my training. And when we get to the pieces, if that's what you want, that's cool. You may see a set that you like along the way that's a little smaller too, okay? So, obviously, let me show you what's next. The next thing that I want to show you then is our basic homemaker. Now I know that you said this was too many pieces, right? Okay? So when a customer says it's too many pieces, this is key. If a customer ever goes, hey, that's too many pieces, what I would do is I turn back to the homemaker and I say, which pieces don't you think you'd use? Notice I didn't say which ones are you going to use. I say which ones don't you think you'd use, Gerald?
I don't think I really need to call the slicer. Probably not to call before. I probably need to take a knife.
Okay. Now is this what your customer said, or you just making stuff up? Okay. Did your customer say any of these? Okay. Right. We do a good job on this section, right? But let's say that they did go, hey, I wouldn't use those pieces. I would turn back and I'd say, which ones don't you think you'd use? And he said the carver and the slicer, right? So I go, okay, Gerald, do you guys do baked goods at all? Do you eat bread? Okay. Well, realize that the slicer is the only bread knife that comes in the set. So it's a very essential tool. If you do baked goods at all, or any breads, bagels, you cut sandwiches, you do cakes or pies or brownies, this is probably going to be a pretty crucial piece. I apologize if I didn't do a good job explaining that the first time. Do you guys ever do like big meats, ham roast beef, pot roast, tenderloin, turkey, chicken, brisket? You hunt, do you barbecue, do any of that stuff? Okay, well this is the only knife in the set that's really equipped to do some of those bigger things. So again, I apologize if I didn't explain that at the beginning, but do you kind of see how you'd use those pieces? Okay, perfect. So we resell them on the pieces. Does that make sense? And then I go, okay, so let me show you our basic set then. Our basic homemaker set is $749, or it's a payment of $171. Now this is a lower price, correct? Gerald, can you tell I'm trying to work with your budget a little bit? Can you tell I'm trying to get you a better deal? Okay, great. So do you want to go ahead and get that?
Do I still get free stuff?
Yes. If you wanted, I could give you the super shears or the kitchen tools. Which one would you like? Okay, no problem. So, do you want to go ahead and do that? I'll throw in the kitchen tools for you. I said that to try and help them feel more comfortable. Does that make sense? Yeah, I'll throw in the kitchen tools for you. Keep saying no. Okay?
No, there's still too many pieces.
Okay? What if I threw in the super shears too? I offered you both here. I'll just give you both on this one. Is that a better deal?
It is a better deal,
You
but
can tell I'm trying to work with you, right?
just not sure I'm going to use that later.
Okay, no problem. I completely understand. Now here's the cool thing. This is very important. Okay, how many no's have I gotten so far? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'm still on the homemaker. At this point, your first weekend, you did homemaker, galley, essentials, studio, starter sets, pieces. So while you're on the pieces, I'm on the basic homemaker. Does that make sense? So the reason why you guys didn't sell the big sets is you didn't have this information. All we told you to do was go, hey, show them the homemaker, show them the galley, show them the starter sets, show them the pieces, make a sale. And that's what you did. That's why the majority of your